Monday night at 8 p.m., which means it's time for another episode of FM Rager. I'm your host, Connor Clifton, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Ned Gale.
Stop, all of you, please.
Ned, how the heck are you?
Man, I am doing great. Connor, I've turned 31 this weekend.
Well, then that leads me to ask, how was your freaking weekend?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Pretty great.
What'd you do? Let's rewind, because technically our weekend started on Thursday. We took Friday off.
Our weekends really crash together, much like the film Crash. Our stories are intertwined.
Yeah, so Thursday, we finally did Neo-Benchy. Yep, we got through it. It was great.
Another successful one. A lot of good performers out there.
Another successful one.
A lot of weird performances, I would say. This is if you were at Neo-Benchy the month before, this one was the topsy-turvy version of it. I loved it.
Oh, yeah. The normcore people went to the first one, and then the freaks came out for the second one. It was a lot of fun. Everybody did a great job. And if you're in the audience right now and you really like Neo-Benchy, you want to do it, remember, you can get at us, and we'll be able to book you on there, no problem.
Yeah, neobenchy.tv. That's a website and our Instagram handles.
That's right. That's right. All right, Ned. And then after that, it was your birthday, June 10th, a.k.a. 610 Day.
That's right, which means we did what we do every year. We drove around the 610 loop of Houston.
That's right.
Front to back.
The most expensive it's ever been this year.
Yeah. I'll Venmo you gas money. I know I said that before, but now I'm doing it on air. I'll tell you.
It used to be a lot easier. Just like, yeah, man, fuck it. It's $20. Like, whatever. You just ride around. Not the case no more.
Yeah.
And then we were joined with a friend of the show, Cody Delegger, and we went to go see Top Gun Maverick, which we both loved.
Loved the hell out of it. I'd never seen the OG Top Gun. So we, of course, shrunk the binge right before the movie.
And what is that, Ned? What is that process?
So we had never seen the film, so I watched the first 10 minutes, the opening sequence, and the last 10 minutes of Top Gun. And I pretty much got it. They never got out of their planes. And I assume that's all that happens in that movie.
You saw all the best parts.
Yeah, you keep talking about a volleyball scene. I'm assuming they're playing it in planes.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Then we saw the movie. I have no complaints. My dad, who served in the Navy on the Kitty Hawk, he had lots of complaints.
What was it? What was his beef?
So spoiler alert, an F-14 gets hijacked, and my dad was like, "This is fucking bullshit. Why would anyone leave an old plane that should have been decommissioned in a hangar? Why would they leave it there if they had like such advanced technology?" He was really hung up on that. He did say it made him miss the glory days, and he wanted to sign up for the Navy again. And then he told me about that plane he watched blow up. He finally opened up about it.
Damn.
It sounded pretty nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we watched Top Gun. Then we went to Grand Prize, had some drinks, and what did you do the rest of it?
It's pretty good. The rest of the weekend, Sunday, I had a very nice pool day. And Saturday, I didn't do shit all, but I did have dinner with Candace's old roommate, who I share a birthday with.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
6'10" twins, Gemini twinnies.
And then you got a nice special gift.
And she brought me, we went to dinner, and she brought me a piñata, which was insanely cool. I didn't think she was going to get me anything. I made her like a small picture. I was like, hey, here you go. But she gave me a piñata, and I was really excited, but what do you do with a piñata when you're giving it in a non-piñata situation? You know what I mean? Like, someone usually brings out a piñata because you're about to hit it.
That's true.
And it's loaded. There's stuff in it.
I don't know. I did see this little hole that you could have gotten all the candy out of, but you chose not to do that.
Yeah, I should have stuck a tube in it and like siphoned it out.
All the candy out.
Yeah.
But instead, you have decided to bust this bad boy open on the show.
Yes, I would love to break that open. I want whatever snacks and treats are in there.
Okay.
I'm going to punch it. Here, I'm going to put on these gloves. I don't want to damage my hands right before our big interview, so I'm going to get these kind of going real quick. What are you grabbing? What do you little defense? Okay.
Just something to make sure you don't fuck my stomach up.
Okay. I'm going to... Is that good on camera?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, fuck.
I really thought that would open easier.
Wait, hit it at the bottom.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Finish him.
Oh, there's a lot of candy in there. Hey, there's Pop-Tarts.
There, Pop-Tart?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hey, this is a good candy haul. Well, shit.
This is really good shit. Well,
I'm just going to roll my chair right on top of all these Starbursts.
We got Gushers, Fruit Roll-Ups, Kit Kats, gummies, Fruit by the Foots. This is some good shit.
Yeah, this is some really good stuff. Alexis, if you're watching, thank you so much. Now I'm just going to sweep these out of the way.
Yeah.
No one is allowed to comment on my punching form. I think that's the first time I've ever punched, besides the one time I got my ass kicked.
Man.
Oh, thank you, King Damn.
That was really difficult.
What about you? How's the rest of your weekend?
I'm a little winded.
You're winded.
I'm out of shape. It was good, man. I went to the Memorial Park pool. The pools of the city of Houston are finally open.
Oh, nice.
And then Friday night, I also did a live stream with Emily Hines about the Houston city budget. We did a live Q&A. So if you watched that, thank you very much. I'll talk about it again at the end of the show just to remind everyone that we're going to have it up soon.
Finish him.
Oh, it's hot today. All right. We have a really cool guest that I'm really excited about. So why don't we go ahead and just bring the guest on?
Yeah. Let's do that. So we're going to head to a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. Your guest today, we're very, very excited to have them on. They are the co-host of The Weekly Regular, Carl Calls His Cousin, and never heard of them. Please give a warm welcome to Ahsohn the DJ.
Hey, yo.
Hey, Ahsohn, how you doing today, man?
I'm great. How are y'all doing?
Doing great.
Doing all right. It's Monday. This is our little tradition. So we've got our beers, and we're ready to talk parties.
There you go. Let's do it.
All right. Question 1. Do you remember the first party you ever attended?
First party I ever attended. Are there any limitations on like the how young I was?
Nope.
No.
Whatever you can
Childhood
remember.
birthday parties.
Yeah, the first party I can remember was my first birthday party. And the only reason I can remember it is because there's like tons of photos of it. It's really funny because it was at a McDonald's, and it was at the historic McDonald's in San Bernardino, California.
Whoa. Is this a special McDonald's? Does it have
Yeah, it's like I believe it was the first like one, and there's like a museum in it, and there's all these like it's like a historical site now, but it's like right on E Street in McDonald's. And like at the time in the 90s, it was still a functioning McDonald's, but it was still like, you know, the special first one, come see it. And there's a bunch of pictures of like me in a high chair with like nuggets in front of me or something, and a birthday cake. And that's like the earliest I was partying from a very young age.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was on that birthday cake? Did you have like a cartoon character and the icing or anything like that?
You know, I don't recall if there was like a cartoon character or anything on that. I'm a big fan of ice cream cakes though, and I know that's pretty divisive, but
No. A mint chocolate chip ice cream cake is like my go-to birthday cake. Oh.
Yeah, I used to love the Oreo one from Baskin Robbins. They make a really good Oreo ice cream cake. So I'm firmly in favor of ice cream cakes.
Let's move it forward a little bit. Do you remember the first party that you attended when you were a little older? With like, I don't know, maybe you were drinking, maybe you were dancing.
First time you felt a mature party. Yeah.
I would, you know what? It's funny. I didn't party a lot in high school or anything like that. A lot, but I did get into when I was in high school. I was in a punk band, and we and I was really into the hardcore scene out in San Bernardino and the Inland Empire and all of that in high school. And there would always be like shows that we would go to, and then a lot of my partying in high school came after shows in parking lots and backyard kickbacks and stuff after shows. So it was more centered around the music, but a fair bit of underage drinking and wild shenanigans happened. But in high school, I was actually straight edge, so I didn't do a lot of drinking. I didn't do any drinking in high school because I was straight edge that whole time. So I didn't really do any drugs and alcohol in high school. That all came later.
Were you doing like kind of a straight edge hardcore thing? Like what was it? What was the name of your band? I love band names.
Oh, my band in high school was a band called Decisions. They used to be called Take the Test, and then that version of the band broke up and they became Decisions.
They took the test. They made the decision.
Mm-hmm.
The band is now new.
Yep.
That's great. I love
Yep.
that. Did you play any like wild high school show? I feel like I played. I play in a band now, and I'm playing
Okay.
a lot more proper venues. I feel like, but in
Yeah.
high school, I was playing a lot of like skating rinks or like outside of places. Like, did you have any like weird spots?
Yeah, where are you guys from?
Houston, Texas.
Yeah, we're both Houston boys.
Houston, Texas. Okay. So in Southern California, there's at the time, like in the mid 2000s, like 2004, I would say, to like 2009, 10, there were a lot of like little DIY venues, like basically between where I was from, San Bernardino, which is like an hour east of LA, and then all the way to LA, and in between there were a bunch of like DIY kind of hardcore and punk venues back in that day. And so I actually was playing in somewhat decent but also sketchy kind of venues from the beginning, and then also a bunch of house shows.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the craziest show we played. There's a venue in Orange County, California called The Cabin, which is always crazy because there's a bigger venue in town called Chain Reaction. That's kind of like a famous venue on the West Coast for like punk and hardcore bands. And then oftentimes the same bands who were playing in the tours that would go to Chain Reaction will also play this like house in Garden Grove. And it was called The Cabin because it had these big vaulted ceilings with like wooden beams across like the vaults.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
like, very regularly people who have had too much to drink or are just feeling it enough would climb up on the the struts in the ceiling and jump off. And that was pretty wild. Like it's been some pretty wild stuff there, I would imagine.
Yeah, that seems crazy.
I'm so Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so jealous to hear about all this stuff because we only had, I believe, Java Jazz and Java Junction were our, like high school band venues.
All Java based.
Yeah, it's all coffee-based venues for sure.
And I never got invited to show, so I was like, well, fuck all y'all anyway.
Yeah, we're kind of fortunate to have like a cool like DIY kind of music scene in Southern California at that time. Like I wouldn't have known what to do with myself otherwise. It was really cool. That's kind of like where I found my community and like where I was first exposed to like, underage activities like drinking Four Loko and Sparks energy drinks and things like that. Like back in that day, it was pretty nuts.
Yeah. First true taste of freedom is like when you find your scene and it's like, whoa, these aren't my family or school friends. Like this is like a whole new thing and rules.
Yeah, 100%.
I've got a question for you, Ned, and Ahsohn, maybe you can answer some of this too. But
Sure.
What I'm thinking in terms of music scenes that are shared by both California and here in the Gulf Coast is surf and surf rock, surf punk. And do you guys think that they borrow from each other or have influenced each other in different ways?
I wouldn't know. I've been to Texas and I've been to like the Gulf of Mexico down there, and I don't know. It's a different kind of beach.
What do you mean? How come?
Blue water fancy pants over here.
There's when I close my eyes and I if I put on Red Hot Chili Peppers and I close my eyes and I imagine the beach, there's a certain kind of beach that I imagine, and the ones in Houston. No, I love Houston. I have friends in Houston, but yeah, I just think they're a little bit different. I remember I have family like in the Gulf Coast, like I have family in Mississippi. And I remember going to Mississippi and New Orleans and stuff for the first time. And I remember going to Gulfport in Mississippi and like the hotel that the family reunion was at, it was like right on the water. And I'm like, oh, cool. There's a beach. So you can go to the beach.
Yeah.
I had just flown into New Orleans for the first time and it was like 2 a.m. and it was all like humid and gross. And I was like, this is crazy. We have to go to the beach tomorrow. And so we went down to the water and I remember getting into the water. And when people are like, oh man, I just want to go to a beach where there's like white sand and like the water is warm. Like the water was warm, but like not in a like vacation postcard kind of way.
Mm-hmm. There's like a steady boil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like still bath water almost. It's like
just flesh-eating viruses up and down the coast.
Gators dying right in the water in front of you.
Yeah, I think the beaches in the Gulf Coast kind of would inspire me towards different kind of music. I don't think surf rock, but maybe more like, I don't know, like bluegrass. I don't know, that kind of like,
Okay.
there's banjos and stuff. Like that's the vibe I get from Texas beaches.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ned, you got a banjo. We'll have to go out to Galveston.
We should.
It's the only. I've never been anywhere else. It's like I don't want to go to the beach. It's too hot. Like, the water's gonna be boiling. Can't do it.
Yeah. See, we're getting sludge metal in the chat there. We do
Sludge.
There's a decent amount of metal bands, especially in Galveston. Yeah.
Texas is killing it right now.
Big grindcore scene.
Yeah, one of Power Trip, one of my favorite bands of the past couple of years is from Texas, and they're huge. I love them. But yeah, Texas is killing it right now, music wise. They're making a lot of my favorite stuff. But
All right. So moving back to party stuff, did you ever throw a party as a teenager or as an adult?
I'm trying to think. Never throw a party. You know what? It's funny. I just this is a funny story. This actually just happened to me recently. So I have like a group of friends who I most of them I met in college, and I went to a Christian college in LA, and so a lot of my friends from college time are still pretty religious, and so some of my closest college friends, they're a little bit older than me, and like most of them are married with kids. But I'm like kind of like the one who's still young, and I'm like the sinful heathen. So like I'm the one they call when they want to like go out and have a good time. So
Can you get us some CBD?
Please tempt me.
Yeah, exactly. Help me backslide. There was so it was one of my good friends from college. It was his birthday. It was like his 35th birthday, I believe. And they're like, all right, we're gonna go out. We're gonna go have a birthday dinner. And then he texts me on the side. He's like, hey, can you find something fun for us to do? And I just so happened to be DJing at a bar that night, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna get these guys wasted and have a good time. So we went to a restaurant before the bar where I was DJing, and they one of my friends is not like a big weed smoker. Like, he doesn't do it at all, but like he's at a point in his life right now where like he feels like he has to, because so many people in his life are. So he's like, man, I got to get into weed.
Dare was right. My friends will pressure me to smoke.
Yeah. So he's like, we're so we finish at the restaurant, we're in the parking lot, and someone takes a joint out, and we're passing it around, and he goes, now I got to warn you guys, I'm a lightweight. And I was like, okay, well, how often do you smoke? He's like 2 or 3 times a month. And I'm like, okay, that's like, for someone in their late 30s, who has kids and stuff like that, that's totally fine and reasonable, right? And he's like, but I gotta admit, I'm a lightweight. And we're like, okay, whatever, man. And he takes 2 hits of it, and then like 10 minutes go by, and then my other buddy like taps me on the shoulder and like points over at the buddy who's a lightweight, and I look at him, and he's literally just like unconscious on his feet. His eyes are closed, and he's kind of like mumbling to himself, and he's like kind of rocking back and forth, and I'm like, oh no. and so I'm like, hey man, are you gonna be all right? And he like is not really responding to me, and I'm like, hey, let's get you to the car. And so we start. I kind of put my arm around him, like kind of like I'm walking him off the field type of thing.
Yeah.
And he, like, I had never experienced this before from someone like on weed. Like, I've experienced someone who's like blackout drunk, but I've never experienced this from weed. And we're walking kind of like, I got my arm over him, and he just starts to like collapse, but like in slow motion.
Riding that escalator, man.
Yeah. And before I know it, he's just like his arms. It looks like he's planking. Like, his arms are just like his arms are back. He's just face down on the concrete, just like sleeping. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to get him out of here. So we peel him off the pavement and throw him in the backseat of the car. And then, like bad friends, we just go to the bar. And we're at the bar, and then I think within like 30 minutes they end up like, all right, we got to take him home, but we'll come back. And so they took him home, and they came back, and we had a cool night. I had finished my DJ set, and then we kind of just hung out a little bit. But yeah, I was kind of worried the next day because I really thought we had like almost killed this guy. But he's fine, and he recovered, and everything is good.
Thank goodness.
Great.
I'm glad he's not still in plank lock.
Yeah, did it like did it ruin weed for him, or are they like can't wait to try it again?
No, I think he's still open to it. I think he's just trying to find the delivery system that works best for him because smoking is probably not
Yeah,
a little too
the
harsh.
best one. Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned DJing, and speaking of DJing, we did have a DJ question for you. What song is just like a guaranteed? Let's get this going, no matter what crowd, or does that exist?
No, it definitely exists. It kind of depends on the room, but some go-to bangers are like "Party Up" by DMX. Always goes pretty hard. Let me see what else. What else? There's a lot of them. In like a wedding setting, like Usher, yeah, always kind of lets everyone know like we're about to get the party started. But then like there's other shit too, like that Mo Bamba by Sheck West is always a song that gets everybody turned to. There's all kinds of I mean, sometimes it's classic rock depending on the venue. You know what? What surprisingly hits a lot that I found even in like club/bar settings is like early 2000s like emo rock and like pop rock and stuff like that. It goes really hard if you can craft a decent set around it. People love hearing Panic at the Disco when they're wasted.
Wow.
So yeah.
I can't tell you how many weddings I've been to where when a DJ plays Copperhead Road by Steve Earle, everyone just loses their shit and runs out to line dance. I'm like, ugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I'm gonna DJ a wedding in Houston, I'm gonna have all that. I'm gonna have my Cotton Eye Joe ready.
Don't even get me started, man.
It will go off. It will go very well.
I'm gonna have my Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy loaded up.
Yes.
Any ZZ Top, and you got the crowd eating out of your hand.
ZZ Top,
man.
exactly. Yeah, man. Every situation is different, but that's the cool thing about DJing. And I've actually got to do a fair bit of traveling, DJing and stuff like that, and DJing for different parts of the country and even outside the country a little bit. Like you get to know people's like regional hits pretty well, so it's pretty cool to see.
Ooh, that is interesting.
I'd love to see a map of that, of like what song kills the hardest per state.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What got you started wanting to be a DJ? Was it something you wanted to do, or did you fall into it?
It kind of was something that started as a hobby. I was a couple years out of film school, and I was doing like PA stuff, living the production life, and that was soul draining, as you'll hear from anyone, even the people who are, blessed to have wonderful careers in it. It can be a really draining career field. And I had always been a musician, playing the drums and stuff like that, like with punk bands and in like church and stuff growing up. And so I was looking for other ways to like expand my musical ability. And like I've always thought I've had like good taste in music. And so I thought, hey, I wonder if there's a way that I can further expand like my musicianship and like create more streams of income for myself. And I was like, let me just try DJing. Like this was right around the time where I feel like DJing was becoming like a more popular thing. And a more accessible thing, like when digital controllers and things like that were popping up. This was a Skrillex era and stuff like that, where musicians were just transitioning to DJing in like gangbusters. So I was like, well, let me see if I have the skill set to do this, because I'm also one of those people who like I don't like to like half-heartedly do stuff, and if I think I'm bad at something, even if it's working out for me, then like I won't feel confident about showing up to that, honestly. So I was like, let me make sure I'm good at DJing first. So I just bought a digital DJ controller. I bought a Newmark Mixtrack Pro for like $150 used on Craigslist, and I like a MacBook Pro that I had gotten through like my film class at college, and I just started DJing. Like I was using this free software called Mix that was really bad. And I just started practicing just at home, just like transitioning from song to song and like beat matching and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm pretty good at this. I didn't have anywhere near the amount of music I thought I would have needed. Like knowing what I know now, like I had no music back then. But I remember the way I kind of became a professional DJ, if you will, is somebody from that I went to school with was getting married and was like, "Hey, do you DJ weddings?" Because I posted on like Instagram and Facebook like me DJing and stuff in my room, just pictures because I wasn't good enough to do video or anything. And they were like, "Hey, do you DJ weddings? I saw you DJ on Facebook or whatever." And I'm like, sure." You know.
Yeah.
And I think I charged them like a nothing rate. I think I charged them like $50 an hour or something crazy. And then I just kind of faked it as much as I could. I like
That's how it's
created
done.
a music sheet that I actually still use to this day when like booking wedding clients. It's like a music information form that I like just created, basically trying to get like a list of like songs for like special moments, like garter toss, first dance, like that type of stuff.
Mhm.
And I remember specifically this wedding, like I was not organized and I didn't have playlists and stuff like that. So like I I played the wrong song for their first dance. And it wasn't like a drastic, like I didn't play like, Danger Zone or something like that. Like I didn't play something crazy, but it was like it was clearly the wrong song. Like I think I had played like the mother daughter, like the father daughter dance song instead of. I think I mixed those two songs. The couple noticed, and they kind of gave me a look like while they were dancing. I'm like, is this not the right song? And I just kind of like kind of played it off, and
Yeah.
then. But what saved me was I killed it during the dance set, and everybody was saying like how good I did during the dance set, so they kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
And luckily they were gracious about it. But yeah, that's kind of how that was my first foray into getting paid to DJ anything.
That reminded me. One of my friends got married like right out of high school, and they asked me day of the wedding. They're like, "We need someone who could just like MC the wedding, like get people from point A to point B." And
Yep.
this is like 6 hours before the wedding, and I was like,
Mhm.
guess I can do it. And as soon as I got there, they gave me a laptop, and they're like, "Can you do like the music cues? Like, can you like press it? Here's the playlist and everything." I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, man, you're putting a lot of responsibility day of. I'll do it."
Mhm.
And they had their like walkout song, and they're like, "Yeah, just hit play and you're good." What I didn't know was their Spotify was like on shuffle to the get go.
Oh
So
no.
like everyone's standing up, they're getting out. I just hit play, and it's like, "Who's the sexy girl?" And I was like, "Oh fuck!" It's like quickly strap back, and like the rest of the night, absolute nightmare. It really set up a lot of failure.
Oh man.
That's hilarious.
But that's cool. I'm glad you. It sounds like that was like a great first gig.
Oh, yeah.
To like really boost your confidence and keep doing it.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely that.
Okay, back to partying. What is your preferred party style? How do you like to relax? How do you like to party with folks?
Yeah, I like to as I'm getting older, I'm 31. As I'm entering my 30s, I think some of my best or my favorite moments are when like I'm just at a friend's house with a group of people that I really love and we're just getting absolutely wrecked. Like I just think that's fun. Like
Yeah.
I've never been one to go to like random house parties. Although I am not a complete homebody. Like I do like being out. Like I like the feeling of getting dressed and like going somewhere.
Mhm.
But that's usually if I do that, like I kind of have to like pretend to be a different person to do that. So like I prefer to do that kind of. Luckily, like I live pretty close to Vegas. Like it's just a 45-minute flight and a 3.5-hour drive.
Nice.
So like when I'm getting the urge to like get dressed and like go do something wild, it's usually in Vegas, and that's because I just get in a different mindset. Like once I cross state line, like I'm just a different guy. Like I play middle linebacker for the LA Rams, and I'm here after practice one day just to to blow off some steam. Like I'm just a different person,
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight hooligan mode.
Oh yeah, I've gone to the Golden Nugget in Lake Charles. It's a similar drive.
There's a Golden Nugget in Vegas, I believe.
Yep, there sure is.
They're
They
worldwide.
I think you can
Yeah.
cash your chips at both, Connor. You ever want to make the trip?
don't get me started. Tillman Fertitta is a clown. Houston and Galveston folks have their own thoughts on Tillman. I'll just say that. All right. Did your party style change over the pandemic, and if so, how?
Yeah, so in the pandemic, partying amounted to playing Call of Duty with like 5 or 6 of my best friends. That became like our weekly sort of party thing. That became a very core part of my existence at that point. Call of Duty kind of saved my life.
Same here.
I cannot tell you how much that resonates with us.
Yeah,
That's
we
exactly what we did.
We got on Discord. We started a group chat, a group Discord. Warzone specifically was the only thing we had to look forward to.
Yeah, totally. I'm in the same boat. So it's actually funny. My friends that I have that are in Houston, I met them playing Call of Duty in the pandemic.
No way.
Yeah, 100%. They are relatives of one of my friends here in California, but like we all like sort of connected and became friends on Call of Duty. And now like when I go to Texas, aside from y'all two at Effin Rager, I have other friends in Houston that I can drop in on and stuff now because of video games, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, man.
I think it's a beautiful thing. I mean, y'all are talking music and having such a beautiful conversation. Games are really more my thing. So yeah, I truly do think like gaming can just like keep a friend group together. I also heard recently that a big difference between men and women and how they maintain friendships is that men do things together. You go to a movie, you go to a barbecue, you get drunk together, and women will have like long conversations and talk on the phone and keep things going that way. And video gaming, online gaming, has radically changed just men's friendship. And just, it enables us to keep in touch with people who are not living near us anymore, which is something I really struggle with a lot of my other friends who don't game. So
Totally.
I think it's a beautiful thing. I'm happy it's here.
Yeah, me too.
I love the notion of like, I'm not talking on the phone with my friends, but I'll shoot guys.
Yeah, I'll get on voice chat with my friends.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
All right. So one of the final prepared questions I had here, you are a prolific podcast host. You're a damn good podcast host, if I think.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you learn anything during the production of season 1 of Never Heard of Them, your music podcast you co-host with Jacob Wysocki? And did you learn anything that you hope to apply to the production of season 2? Or any future project?
This was my this podcast in particular was the first podcast I had done that like was really guest oriented. Like it is really the premise of the show is getting like guests and stuff to come on the show. And I'd never really done that before because that was something I was kind of always afraid of. And granted, we have a really, really, really great producer. Shout out to Kevin. But just in terms of scheduling and also Never Heard of Them is a season-based podcast, whereas the other ones that I do are ongoing. Never Heard of Them was really cool. That, like we got to be really intentional about like how we scheduled guests, the order we wanted them to come on, like who we wanted to reach out to, the different like managing personalities in terms of like, if we have someone who's a more silly comedian on this week, then we'll have someone else who's maybe a little bit more, intellectual. Their relationship with music is a little bit more intellectual. Just trying to like balance and like put out good content and like. But mainly, like the main thing I learned in terms of like booking guests and stuff like that is like, if you ask, like most people are like willing to do it if they can make the time, and you just kind of have to be patient. And like that was like a real thing. Like it's a different skill set. Like there's podcasting and doing it a weekly podcast like with just you and your normal host or just by yourself is one skill set I think that like comes with its own share of like anxieties and stuff like that. But like having to be at the mercy of people saying yes to be a guest on your podcast is a whole different set of anxieties. And so kind of trying to learn how to manage both of those was like a challenge at first, but I think was pretty rewarding. It makes me appreciate like, it makes me appreciate people's time, I think, a lot more.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. This show, we usually interview our friends and people that we know pretty well.
Yeah.
And once the pandemic hit and we had to pivot to Twitch, because we used to be on a radio station here in Houston. So
cool.
Yeah. So we had to pivot to Twitch. And that's when we were like, all right, let's talk to our friends who don't live here. We tried to interview somebody who ran for office here in Houston. That was an insane get for us. She called us dinguses in the middle of the show, which was quite fun. But yeah, I totally agree. It's a really humbling experience. We were very humbled to reach out to you and ask you to do the show as well.
Yeah. Am I messing up the screen? Am I doing something?
I think we lost your video.
But well,
Really?
we see you.
I'm
you're-
switching over to the Skype chat, and it looks like we're in a stone quarry together.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was trying to get I was trying to rearrange the screen and it pushed me to this weird mode. Is that better? I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry.
I've never seen
I
this.
I can still see and hear you guys. Can you guys still see and hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Here, wait. I'm gonna try
1
something real
second.
quick. Let's see if we can.
This is the fun of a live show. Is we just got to figure it out real quick.
So sorry about this.
No,
dude,
you're
fine. You're good.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, this works.
Well,
What's going on now?
you and I seem to be sitting on a stone step together in this video. What the fuck happened?
I don't know what happened. This is so
Did you-
weird. Hold on.
There may be like a filter or something on your end. I don't quite know.
I am trying to not do that, but
Oh, we're getting roasted in the chat.
we
This-
got any Skype heads in the chat that can fix this?
yeah. Do we have the inventor of Skype in the chat? That'd be sick.
oh man,
Damn, Johnny Skype tunes in every week except for this one.
he said he was busy.
Johnny Skype.
Oh man.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's not cool. But
You're good.
Well, you can see us, and we were
Yeah,
about to play a game, so we can.
Oh no, I put us in a fucking plane. This is worse.
Okay, so is this us? Are we the ones who are fucking up?
Well, I can change the background. I just can't remove it.
What?
Okay, well, I'll put us in a tropical sunset. That seems more comfortable. We're just drinking at a bar in Hawaii together.
Ahsohn, can you still see our screen that we're sharing with you?
I cannot see the screen.
Okay.
Oh my god. We did have a game we wanted to play, but we kind of gotta. Can we? Do we need to call him back? What's,
Can you call me back? Can we try that?
we can
Or-
call you right
Oh
back.
wait.
Did you?
You got it?
I think I hacked the mainframe here.
Okay.
Did we get it?
Yeah.
I promise I won't touch anything after this.
No, you're good.
Hang on. Yeah, it's looking like we may have solved this problem.
Oh my god, is it happening? It's not happening. What is this?
What? There's so many different Skypes. Okay. Ahsohn, we
There
wait.
we go.
We did it. All right. That is the thrill of live.
Now
content.
I still can't see your screen share.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna reshare it with you.
Okay.
We'll
Let's see. There. Okay, I think it's coming up. Oh, it looked like it was gonna work. Like it switched the screen view, and then it went back to where it was just at. Oh man. I feel so bad.
No, you're good.
it might have been on our end. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Should we just call him right back?
Wait, I'm gonna turn my camera off, and then can you see the screen of us sharing in that possibly?
Let me see.
Let's just call him back.
No, I can't. I can't see
we're,
that.
We're gonna call you
We're
back.
gonna
real
call
quick.
you right back.
Okay,
we'll be
sounds
right
good.
back.
All right.
And we're back.
We're back. Ned.
Sorry for breaking it.
No, you're
All
good.
good. Ned.
Actually, hey, new guest record. I think no one's done that before.
No one's crashed the server before.
Yeah. This is an airtight security we've had here. Yeah.
All right, Ned, why don't you introduce this game that you have planned out for Ahsohn?
Okay, so I've been listening to your podcasts, never heard of them, and I really enjoy that you have an extensive knowledge of subgenres. There's nothing
Thank you.
that I like more than like obscure subgenres and stuff like that. I love talking about like micro genres, like surf punk, getting smaller from there. And I've also been checking out that DALL-E thing. I don't know if you've seen this AI image generator that's all over Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Basically, you plug a phrase in, and it just tries its best to make an image. So I threw a couple subgenres into this computer software, this non-human, and I've put together a little game called Subhuman. We'll be looking at subgenres.
I like it.
So I'm gonna pull out the first. I guess we should have had some song.
I didn't know the name of this game.
There we go. Okay, so this is the first image. So I've plugged a subgenre in here. Nothing too complex. I would say like a mid-tier subgenre.
I think every subgenre we have here has been mentioned on Never Heard of Them.
I would say that. Yeah.
Okay, can I guess?
Yes. Oh, yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
absolutely.
I'm gonna say this is shoegaze.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right.
All right. Good start.
Nice.
Okay. Coming in at number 2.
Oh man.
This one's a little trickier.
Oh man. Hardcore?
Not quite, but you're in the right direction, I'll say.
Oh man. Sheesh.
Didn't you say that this was a genre that's like commonly called something else?
Is it like death metal?
Not quite. Someone said power metal in the chat. That's not too far off.
Oh, power violence.
Yeah.
All right.
That was one that, like, when it generated, I was like, huh? Oh, I guess they got the power to the part of
Yeah,
it.
I get that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Coming on, number 3.
Oh my god. Let me zoom in and see some of the what is that top left?
Okay, I would say the top right might be a pretty good hint based on how many people might be in this kind of band.
Oh, a ska band? Is it ska?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. I like that one.
Okay. Number 4.
This one's a little difficult. I
Yeah.
couldn't figure this one out.
Oh, is this like I'm gonna guess like noise rock?
Ooh, no. A little less abrasive, I'll say.
Oh, like new wave?
More like cutesy teen twee new
Yeah,
wave.
think early 2000s.
Oh, emo? Screamo?
No. We'll get one more guess on this one.
Like SoundCloud rap? I don't know.
No. Answer is chiptune music.
Chip tune music, okay.
It's the early 2000s. People are hacking Game Boys.
I'm not mad at that.
All right, our final one.
Oh, death metal.
Very close.
More specific.
Deathcore or black metal?
Lose the death. I'll give you metal.
Metal.
Metalcore. Metalcore? Not metalcore.
I will say the most representative in my eyes, and then maybe this is like a psychology thing, maybe the middle right would be the closest to like an album cover for one of these.
This is your game, Ned.
Oh,
Yeah.
middle right. And it's not black metal, and it's not death metal. It's not metalcore. It's not deathcore.
It's not deathcore. It's
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
all valid guesses.
They're so vague. They're so vague.
There are 5 genres of music.
No.
And it's none of them. Is it like I'm trying to think of topic. Is this a topic or is this a genre we've covered on the podcast?
You've talked about it in a recent episode, and actually, I'll give you your quote on it.
Oh, I think I know what it is. Is it like doom metal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You had a great observation on doom metal. You said that like a lot of older guys get into it because suddenly they have enough money to buy like wacky ass amps and pedals. Like,
Yeah, for sure. Doom is a genre of secret rich guys like who have way too much money to spend on amps.
full stacks encompassing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's dudes who like death metal, but they have jobs now. You know?
Yeah. Love it. Well, hey, that's Subhuman. I think you nailed it with
you got 4 out of 5.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've got one other question for you before we move on into our final segment. And I will admit, I was a college radio DJ. I was very into music once upon a time, and then suddenly I just like oddly fell off. I think I just got tired of talking to people about music, and it's like I'm not even going to listen to it. I will go a week without listening to music. So what I want to know is, how can I find new music? What are you doing to find new music?
Yeah. So as a DJ, I'll drop this little bit of knowledge for everybody. As a DJ, you all probably know if you're college DJs, but as a DJ, you can sign up for what are called DJ pools, and you can do that. There's a few of them. There's probably a ton of them by this point that are basically, I don't know, somehow they've worked it out with like the publishing companies and stuff like that own the rights to the music, to where, you know, because DJing people's music is like a promotional tool. There are websites like My MP3 Pool and stuff like that you pay a subscription fee, like $20 a month or something like that, and you can download different, like all the brand new music that's going to be, you know, released sort of worldwide on DSPs and stuff like that. And that will have like all the clean versions, dirty versions, DJ specific versions, acapella, sometimes instrumentals, all that kind of stuff. So that's like in a professional sense, the way that I keep track of like new music that I need to DJ and stuff like that. But other than that, I think in my casual listening, because I DJ and have to keep up with so much new music like professionally, I don't really listen to a lot of new music in my leisure. Like I usually I like to go back to stuff that I like really love. And then what's helpful though with finding new music is a lot of times I'll set like an album to play of like a band that I really like, and then I'll just I'll turn it on shuffle, and then I'll take it off the little like album repeat mode on like Spotify or something like that, and then just kind of have it play.
Yeah, let the algorithm serve it up. Yeah,
let the algorithm, let the robots do, you know, tell me what to listen to. And then I find a lot of new music that way. There's and then honestly, like for like alternative music, like for punk and stuff like that, there's like I'll just follow record labels on Instagram and like different promoters and stuff like that. Because they will post when like new bands have new music and stuff like that. So I will do that pretty regularly. Like there's some pretty cool Instagrams that I follow, like that are kind of genre specific, that like, oh, there's this new doom band on, you know, on this label that came out or something like that. So that's like the Instagram is becoming like the way, like the grand filter of culture.
Ooh, I'm loving that.
Yeah,
I'm big on YouTube channels. There's a lot of like curators who are real big on like, I'm just gonna post a full punk album once a day, and like, oh man, I sift through that so much.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, YouTube is great. YouTube is great for that as well.
Are there any new bands that have like blown your socks off? Is there anything new that you're like really gravitating on?
Yeah, there's some new bands that I really like what they're doing, and other bands that are like bands that I've liked for a while that are putting out good stuff. There's a band called Frozen Soul.
Ooh.
I believe they're out of Texas.
Oh, I'm looking at Frozen Soul.
I'll look that up. I believe Frozen Soul is out of Texas. They're a death metal band. They're really good. If you like really like heavy in, not in like a breakdown metalcore kind of way, but heavy in like sort of
Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that where Pantera's from?
That sounds right.
Yeah, probably.
They're from the Dallas area.
Yeah.
Frozen Soul is really good. I just recorded with my band. You guys should check out when the music's out. We're called Pseudo. But I'm trying to think of what else do I listen to. I discovered this pop duo called First Hate. They're really cool. We talked about them on the pod.
Great fucking name, damn.
Yeah.
First Hate.
They're really cool. I discovered them, like the Spotify robots told me to listen to them. Trying to think what else. My Chemical Romance is putting out new music, which is crazy. What else? I mean, there's lots of cool stuff, man. Listen to Zulu. I love this band from Kansas City called Spine. They're really good. They're a hardcore band. Listen to Spine.
Yeah. Do you have you ever heard a band from Louisiana called Thou?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say that seems like it might be up your alley.
100%. Like all of that type of
music.
stuff, I'm super into. Thou, like Emma Ruth Rundle, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you listen to The Body? The Body's really good.
Oh yeah, dude, that Thou the Body album is like blown out my car speakers.
Yeah, I actually just saw Grouper. I don't know if you've heard of Grouper. She came through to LA. Grouper is like a project. It's mainly, I believe, sometimes I think she plays with live instrumentalists, but like for the most part, it's just like a soul like singer songwriter kind of chick, and she does a lot of like tape loops and like analog looping and stuff like that.
Oh, sweet.
And it's really ambient and beautiful, and yeah, she came through and played at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. That was pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I'm super into that scene, like Thou and The Body and all that kind of stuff. What's her name? Chelsea Wolfe is really cool.
Mhm.
All that stuff I'm super into.
Hell yeah.
Great.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
I have to give a special shout out. I see in the chat my friend Harold. I got all my music from Harold. He read Pitchfork Media for me and just gave me what he thought was good. And I'm like, all right, this is perfect.
Oh yeah, he's shouting out Black Midi.
Oh yeah, Black
very
Midi's
fantastic.
great. Black Midi's really, really, really good. I just got hip to them like a couple months ago, and they're that new record that they're putting
No.
out is really good.
Insane, and they're all like 20. Like it's like insane.
Yeah. Music schools are spoiled, man. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like there's really good stuff coming out of music schools right now. But yeah, Black Midi's really, really good. I'm into that.
Great.
Right on.
Okay. Well, speaking of music, we've got a little song here for our last segment.
Cool.
Hang tight, Ahsohn. We do this every episode. I want a new plug. Tell us what's going on. Tell us all the stuff you're doing after we sing this song. All right. Ahsohn, what do you have to plug?
I kind of shamelessly already did, but you can I just started at Hardcore Band a couple months ago. We played our first show with Gag, Seattle's
yeah.
own. I think they're from Olympia. I don't want to anger them, but the Washington. We played with Gag here in LA a couple days ago. My band is called Pseudo, Pseudo, like pseudoscience or whatever. Go check that out. We just recorded music with Alex at Pale Moon Audio, formerly known as Earth Capital. He's like an OG in the LA sort of alt music scene. He's recorded like Joyce Manor and Touche Amore and a bunch of really, really good bands. We just recorded with him out in the desert. We just got that music back. It sounds amazing. So be on the lookout for Pseudo. If you want to follow Pseudo on Instagram, you can follow us at Pseudocybin. So PSEUDOCYBIN. Follow us there. If you, what were you going to say?
PSEUDOCYBIN.
Yeah, on Instagram. And then check out my other pods. You can check out Carl Calls His Cousin, which is a part of the Patreon for the Flagrant Ones, patreon.com/Flagrant Ones. You can also check out Weekly Regular wherever, Apple Podcasts, all that kind of stuff. And be on the lookout for season 2 of Never Heard of Them coming soon.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Ned, what do you have to plug?
I will be playing a show this Saturday. Me and a couple of the boys from Swimwear Department will be doing a Presidents of the United States cover set.
That's awesome.
Very excited. I've been singing Peaches for a week now. It's also solid lineup. Very weird to see Journey, Misfits, and the Pixies all in the same lineup, but hell, it's gonna be a killer.
I'm ready
This
for
is
that
really cool.
CCR cover band.
Yeah, when I got the flyer, that was the part where I was like, oh fuck yeah. And then also on July 7th, we'll be headlining the Heights Theater with our friends Calliope Musicals and Blossom Aloe.
What kind of music is Swimwear Department?
It's like kind of new wavy dance punk.
Okay.
But it's the whole gimmick is all the songs are about pools and malls only, nothing else.
Okay, that's really awesome. So it's like very 80s kind of.
Some
situation.
80s, some Electric Six kind of like dancey grooves,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Okay.
A lot of call and response and like audience interactivity. It's not like audience participation so much. It is like they get everybody involved and doing stuff. It's really, really fun.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I got to check out some of your stuff.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I don't really have anything to plug other than the Emily Takes Notes, Houston City Budget Q&A live stream we did. Keep an eye out on Instagram and Twitch and all that.
Don't act so excited.
I know it's incredibly dense shit to hear about all the different city amendments, but Emily and I
It's
have
important.
fun.
Yeah.
We talk about rumored romances between council members and all that jazz.
Oh, the salacious stuff.
Oh yeah,
Truly.
we're just making shit up at this point. Other than that, shit, I'm trying to think. I'm sure I've got something, but it's blanking on me. So, you know what? I'll go ahead and plug Carl Calls His Cousin. I
Yeah,
never
yeah.
miss an episode. Please go listen to it.
Oh wow, thanks. That means a lot.
All right. Well, Ahsohn, thank you very much for being on the show. Do you have any parting words for our audience?
Oh no, this is a great time. I will start watching. This is really great. Effin Rager rules.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
much.
Well, thanks again, and we'll catch everyone later.
See ya, y'all.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.